Welcome to Crazy News, Crazy Times News. Today, we're going to look at our nutty fruitcake world and see if we're feeling strange, we're not alone. If we're feeling weird, we're not alone. Well, the first thing that's crazy is the United States, the last time I checked, is a republic, a democratically said to be republic. Okay, so how come that we have allies that are supposedly the same skin as us, the same viewpoint as us? So how come officially now we have Zelensky, who's the ruler, the king of Ukraine, who literally is the king of Ukraine now. He has become a dictator. He has no intentions of having elections or any type of compromise whatsoever. He is effectively a dictator. Now, whereas in Russia, where I was always informed that it was a dictatorship, they had elections. So Putin is the elected leader of Russia, whereas Zelensky is the dictator who will have no elections, and his word is law. This former comedian who used to play the piano with his nuts and bolts. Okay, so that in itself is and of course he's getting tons of our cash, taxpayer cash, and he's buying big mansions, palaces all over the world, including in the state of Florida. Alright, now, we already know that, so that's crazy in itself. How are we supporting a dictator? But of course, we're told that, it's war time, and then there's going to be rehabilitation time, and so forth and so on. So that's kind of peculiar. So the next thing that we found out today was the leader of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. I can't say his name now, but the funny bald-headed guy who speaks with a very heavy accent. He speaks his English. And anyway, he has finally, after saying that we will own nothing and be happy and eat bugs, etc., the masses, not him of course, he stepped down from the organization. But of course, this is a family-tight organization, so don't expect any changes. However, he has removed himself as the prominent figurehead, probably to go to another higher post within it, because once you get it, you don't let it go. So the next thing we know is we have to talk about Iran. Iran has suffered another tragic event, two actually. We know that the president has been mysteriously died in an accident, along with his foreign prime minister. And besides that, his chief of police was assassinated today or yesterday, and so was his equivalent to the to the domestic spy organizations, the controllers, the CIA, FBI equivalent of a particular section of Iran was assassinated. So it's two more assassinations. This is beginning to smell, wouldn't you say? And how long is Iran going to keep on absorbing all these attacks or weird circumstances and attacks? And then now we do know that we mentioned the other day about King Charles' portrait, how it has a strange entity painted into it, provided you take two of the same shots and you put them side by side. Two photographs of the portrait and you put them side by side. Another thing we didn't mention, the fact that we have more symbolism in that. We have monarch butterflies. Now, if you don't know what a monarch butterfly is, that's used by certain groups to denote, well, check it out, just look it up, to denote, it was not happiness and prosperity, it denotes something else. Anyway, for your own edification, check it out. Well, then the next thing that we'll check out is the fact that Saudi Arabia has a sense of humor. Who would have thought? Saudi, I mean, grim, run by a kingdom. Well, they have something going on their television that is all about our illustrious Grandpa Biden. And it's not flattering. It's not flattering at all. They have they have an actor playing him, and another actor playing, I use the male phrase because it is a male, playing Kamala Harris. And in which they have him stumbling on podiums, stumbling on the train, being confused when he's shaking hands. I mean, they have like a 4-minute skit, which is quite embarrassing. However, that is the way that they view the United States. And of course, this is all planned action, planned. It doesn't look good. They have him as being incoherent, saying wrong words, going wrong directions, stumbling, falling down, and being a buffoon. It doesn't look good. Of course, you can get a compilation of any of his gaffers, which is, I think the latest one is he's using the word insurrection and erection. Some of us know the difference. Most of us know the difference. And he shouts out the erectionists. So maybe that's some kind of password for something. I don't know. But that's it. And then he mumbles. I mean, I think you could probably write a constitution with all the 4 years or the 3 years so far. It's been a mumble. But yet, we're going to seriously think about electing this elderly gentleman again for another 4 years. And that's kind of strange. Now, did you know that Woodrow Wilson had a heart attack? He had and he was like, during his run as president, and it was not even like he couldn't even function, but yet it was kept quiet by his wife and his family. They just used him as a prop. So isn't that interesting? Should we have, as this repeats, and of course we do know that Woodrow Wilson, I think, was responsible for a number of things. You can check it out. You know, it's good to always find out what was done during Woodrow Wilson's term. And you'd be surprised how many things are still enacted today, but we do know later on, years later, that he was incapacitated. So, let's see. Now, we already covered some strange things. We have more strange things, but let's see now. Let's see now. Today, since 2 more people were like assassinated, or 2 people were assassinated, I'll phrase it that way, in Iran, how is this going to affect world affairs? So you can say, I don't care about world affairs, I just care about my own hometown. Well, yeah, I understand. It's hard to get, like, think about when your refrigerator's empty. It's hard to think about other people being hungry when you're, like, eating peanut butter. However, we could do, like, let's just do 3 shots, 3 reads, 3 things, and see. Where is this going? Let's just take, okay, let me look at these. Where is this going? Where is this Iranian assassinations or eliminations, dearly departed, of public officials? Where is this going? And how? Alright, let's just see. Ooh, we can see that one, right? We see the chaos factor. The chaos. Towers. We don't have to check that out further. A tower is a tower. And then we have the couple, meaning it's not going to go down by itself. I'd say. So if it's going to be destruction, it's not going to be imploding, it's going to be exploding. And here we have the King of Swords. So we see the Iranian thing as being the Towers. We have the Lovers. Oh no, not the Lovers, the Two of Cups. Here I am, Two of Cups. So there's like compañeros. And we have the King of Swords. I think we can tell this is not just going to end quietly. And they're going to add up 2 and 2 and reciprocate, which is what the purpose is of it. So we can expect more explosions from that area. And another thing, somebody's saying some very, very interesting things, of which how electrical excuse me, electrical we are. How many electrical currents are running through our bodies? Now everybody has seen the Matrix movie, right? You've seen the Matrix. And the whole thing was human batteries, that we were just living in illusion. Hey, hi, how are you? Hi. Am I taking questions? You mean, well, in Crazy Times News? How are you doing in Crazy Times News? Actually, I am giving reads, that's true. See how you can make it in the crazy times that we're living in. I am doing personal readings too. If you like one, you know the drill. But I'm just wondering, that we are all here facing crazy people and crazy times. How are you? Well, I'm just wondering just how everything just seems so like nutty, and just how nutty is this stuff going to get? How nutty? And how do we keep our sanity? Or, at least our refrigerator is full. I mean, really, right? How are you doing? You seem very cheery. Well, the whole thing I'm trying to say is the fact that we all are electrical creatures. We're not just like, blood, sweat, and tears. No. We are electrical energy things. Like you saw the Matrix, that movie. It's like, 20 years old or whatever. Something like that. Well, the point is, somebody's going around saying, check this out. Somebody's going around saying that all these, like 5G, all these, like Wi-Fi, the whole thing, is feeding, like, like a piranha, like, like a snake or like a bug's feeding, like maggots are feeding off of the human body, the human tissue. Now, check that out. Isn't that weird? I mean, it's like everybody knows you don't need like more than like 2 or 3G to have a cell phone, right? I mean, 5G, 6G is like not necessary. I mean, what the hell are people doing? A few movies, hello, how are you? A few like emos. I mean, you don't need all that juice. I'll put it that way, juice. But they're like, it's like we being like used to our energy level. They're like, when you walk on the rug, you get that static electricity, you can see it. Sometimes you get that spark. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, is like how, this is all new to me. I'm just sharing. This is crazy, but it's going on. Like, are they using us as batteries? Is this true? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Are they? So this is how I am. I want to know, am I being used as a battery? Let's see. Okay. Are humans being, hi Jackie, are we being used as a battery? Now let's see. Now we're going to get these 3 random cards, Jackie. We're going to ask these, are we being used, humans being used because we have electrical energy as damn batteries? We have here the Hangman. Okay. Oh, this is all upside down. Nope, this is not. This is an upside down Six of Pentacles. That means it's not a give and take. It's a usury position. It's a usury. It's one way, my way. This is not like party times. This is not good for us. And I have the struggle, the Nine of Wands. That ain't all that, how do you say, positive for us, right? That's not positive for us. Maybe we are being used as batteries. And they're going to say, well, what you going to do about it? That's a good question. What am I going to do about being used as a battery? If it's so true that I'm being used as a battery. Whereas I do with this reading, I have the what to do, the Hangman, the condition, right? Upside down Six of Pentacles, which means it's a one-way, my way, highway trip deal. And I have the Nine of Wands. This is a damn struggle. That's what it says. What do you think? Tell me. Is that possible? They're setting up a network of Wi-Fi, an outrageous amount of ionized radiation, because that's what Wi-Fi is. For what? And how are they fueling it? Did you know that, this is what I found out today, did you know that the human body has 3.5 trillion volts of electricity in our cells? All our cells, we can give off and emanate 3.5 trillion volts. Now, I don't know how you know, that when we're not like going zing, zing, zing to each other all the time. That has to do more exploration. But, isn't that crazy? That's absolutely crazy. That's crazy shit. Crazy. That's how, yeah, isn't that too much, Jackie? Isn't that too much? That we, what, I mean, does that all make us all superstars? Really? I mean, I know every time you learn something, your brain gets more and more bigger and solid, and you get more energy. That's why they don't want you to go to have any education. They don't want you to read. They want to keep us stupid. Because a bigger brain means more capacity to be multidimensional, to like gain our powers, to regain who we are, who we really, 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 really are. We're not just lumps of flesh or meat suits or stuff like that. No, we're very, very complex creatures. Very complex. Very complex. Very complex. And we're just exploring, because they don't tell us like when we're like little that we can like, we have the universe in our hands. No. Within ourselves. No. They don't tell us. And of course you go to schools, they just knock it out of you. You know, what is good for the society is for you to be this. What is good for the collective is for you to do this. Now, they're not telling us to explore, to gain control, to express ourselves. No, 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 no. They're saying conform, 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 and shut up. Until we can, please, they're going, please, dear students, shut up until we can put the label of expert on you. Right? Right, Jackie? That's the way it is. And you're, you know, by that time they have you so much in debt, you spend so much money, and you don't even know your left or right hand. You know, I was just thinking, I write with my right hand, and I was thinking that if we really were something, why are we always, okay, we have a tendency to use one side more than the other. But what if we went and we were trained to use both of our hands to write? Isn't that like an idea? If you're trained, make yourself use both hands to write. Write well. Whatever you do with the right hand, do with the left hand, and vice versa. I mean, and then maybe our brains would, both the sides would be developed in a different manner. Instead of worrying about, like, you know, sex, and more sex, we could think of ways to become more dexterous, more brain power, more this, more that. That's what I think. That's what I think. So, so this is crazy, 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 crazy times that we are just not being, as a humanity, is not being appreciated. I mean, what's left is right. I mean, what, you know, what's up is down, what's inside is outside, and doom and gloom. I mean, really. Whereas we have a lot to be happy about because we are awake, folks. People, not folks, I hate that word. People, citizens, beings. We are awake. We're slowly getting awake. Of course, I'm drinking coffee, so my mouth is running a little fast. However, perfection is not there yet. So, who would like to, like, say anything about anything? I mean, do you agree that we're, like, in loony bins time? Do you agree that we... Who are we? I mean, that's still a big mystery. Who are we? I mean, that is something. Who are we? And that's something that we don't really get a chance to find out. We don't really get a chance to anything. We don't get a chance. Yeah, so that's how I see it. We are, it's quite possible that we are being used for our vitality. You know, they're so into making people, how's the right word? Age? Not age. Maybe age. Like, this is what you're supposed to do from like 6 to 12, go to school here. From 12 to 18, go to school there and learn this. I mean, there's slots. You would think we're on some sort of excuse me, I was going to say a curse word. Some sort of time slot. You know, time card. Ding, ding, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. It's possible. It's possible. Look at this flame. Look at this flame. Translucent. Full of things. The color. Put your wish on this. Looks like it's gonna slowly. You know, you can make a candle, by the way. I haven't tried it. But you can take a piece of cloth and, you know, braid it. Cotton cloth. And stick it in in a can. And fill the can with, to a degree, fill the can with like vegetable oil, any oil. And there you have a candle. I haven't tried it yet, but I was reading some survivalist thing, and they said you could take a tin can, put some oil in it, and a piece of cotton. I guess you can use your underwear if you had cotton underwear. You know, not the whole thing. Cut it into strips, and braid it a little bit, and stick it in there, and there you have your candle. Interesting. I hope I don't have to try it, but you know, that's what it said. So, anyway, that is some of the crazy news. And, well, let's see what else. Well, you know, I mean, there's the planes, of course, the airplanes are still going bump, 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 bump. And they're like falling apart as usual. And of course our monies from all over the countries are going off to, like, you know, war. Whereas our infrastructure is collapsing. Well, I think your plane falls apart. That's a pretty big deal when you're flying in it. And it's weird. It's weird. And of course, DA Fani Willis she has won her primary election for re-election to be DA. Well, we'll see. And you know, she didn't do such a bang up job, but who knows? I'm not in charge of the elections, you know, whatever. But anyway, let's see what else now we have. Well, what else is happening in the world? Well, there's lots of stuff happening. I mean, we can't talk about everything at once. We can just go, ouch, that like smells and stuff like that. And this is just crazy time. And we know that Elvis Presley's Graceland is going up for auction. That's strange. I mean, they could at least make a hotel out of it. Maybe they will. The new bosses. And let's see. And what else is happening? Well, there's lots of things happening. Most of it is BS. And it's strange how a lot of Western newspapers aren't really, or dailies aren't really covering what's happening worldwide, other than sports and dresses and stuff like that, and who's doing what. And of course, Travis, more Travis. But anyway, and we do have like a lot of chaos happening. And it's saying electric cars are most likely silent killers. You're twice as likely to get hit by an electrical car. I wonder if the electrical car is interacting with our electrical cells. And maybe that's the problem with EVs. Because we have so much electricity in our cells that it confuses the machinery. Two electrical currents, two positives make a negative. That's, you know, basic. And they found this skull in China, and they call it may belong to the Dragon Man, who maybe lived 1 billion. That lived. They don't say maybe. They said that lived 1 million years ago. Okay. And of course, this Dragon Man found in the skull, he is artistically portrayed as a rather swarthy-looking, dark person with chunky, squatty limbs. And, well, it's going to take a while before his body gets more linear and lean and his skin gets lighter in the artist's depiction, I suppose. Now, and also Neuralink. Neuralink, you know, was in, you know, what's his name? Elon Musk. His Neuralink jams were put into one person. That's right there. That's Matrix again. Matrix. And the guy, well, the thing did not work as well. I don't know if he's still alive. But they are putting it into another guy. And, well, that's, once again, who wants to have a big metal thing in the back of their head that they can put an electrical socket into you? I mean, I guess you would, that thing, that Neuralink would be the female part, you know, because, like, you know, you deal with plugins, there's like a male part and a female part. So then anyone could plug anything into you. So that wouldn't be so much fun. So, anyway, that's a little bit of that. And so, anyway, there's always another guinea pig, another guinea pig, another guinea pig. And we praise having Neuralink. And what is the broader purpose of that? Isn't that maybe that could be to subtract the electricity from all of us at a faster rate? Maybe. We have all these things, these nanobots, we have graphene oxide, all these things to induce transference of electricity cheaply. Strange, very strange. But that's the way, that's what we have right now. So, I am Crazy Time News. I have more to say, but that's good enough for now. Let's just ponder the fact that we have we're supporting a dictator with our cash. And Russia, who is supposed to be the dictator, is having had elections. Very strange. Very strange. And we know internationally we're not looked upon, the United States is not looked upon in such a groovy manner. You know. Not nice. Not nice. So, we can now say that today's news will take a pause. The Crazy Time News will take a pause. And we'll see. If anybody wants a reading, I am now thinking about how and why we live in crazy times. Crazy Time News. it still says it's error. Well, we do know that we are headed for some interesting revelations. Interesting revelations. So, without further ado, we're going to go do something else. We're going to do something else. And you could say, what are you going to do? Well, I'm working on something that I think is great for our human reflexes, our human selves. And if you would like to, I'll share it when I'm finished with it, but it's big. It's big. I mean, I make things. So, and I want to share what I'm making, but it's still in the, it's taking too long to make this thing, but I can't give it up, because I'm stubborn that way. And I would really wish that I knew someone who could, like, assist me make this faster, but it's impossible. I guess when you make something, you have to do it yourself, because that's why you make this thing. Alright? That's how it goes. So, that's kind of where, that is not kind of, that is where I'm at. And that's the nature of making things. And get obsessed. Obsessed, I tell you. And that's how I feel. Excuse me. Well, if anybody would like to have a personal read, I can do it. Alright. So, now, there are some more things I'd like to talk about, but we'll save them for another time. The main thing is, like, where do we go from here? Where do we go? What? All these interesting things are coming into our heads, and many of them are not, you're not prepared to. People are not prepared to deal with. That's okay. Because just because you don't deal with it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And it also means that it won't be solved, but maybe it will be solved without your participation. And you're going, so what? Nobody cares what I think. Maybe. Maybe somebody does. Maybe you hold the secret. Maybe you are the top of the pyramid. What do they call the top of the pyramid? I forget. I have to go look at a dollar. They call it something. Isn't it amazing that there's so much to know and so little is known, and it's so exciting just thinking about what? Capstone. That's what it's called. I was thinking of cornerstone. I just wasn't like going all the way to the top. I think the capstone in ancient times was covered in gold or some permanent metal, some element. Actually, probably the whole thing was covered in something other than what you see today. It's funny how it takes you a long time to find out that the pyramids were all over the place. All over the place. all over the globe. Who put those pyramids here? Who did it? And how did they get up there? We still couldn't do such a thing today. Maybe it was the word. And once again, we're reminded that when we say the word, that we have many things to find out in 2024. And we're getting pixies of what we could find out, which is making the crazy times news. Because we have, what agenda do we have? Everybody has an agenda. I was going to say we have no agenda, but everyone has an agenda. I would say, let's just raise our human consciousness. Let's just raise our humanity to a higher level of participation. That's my goal. My agenda is raise up the energy level. Let's leave stupid behind. How's that? Can we do that? Can we raise, let's go up and leave stupid behind. Let's be able to say, this sounds stupid. It's pretty intense to be able to do that, right? We could say that. I thought I fixed these cards. I do not like inverted cards. Inverted cards, like inverted people, having agendas. That, you know, it's easy enough. But however, I choose not to do inverted cards. Well, I think I'm going to go out and go do my project as soon as I straighten up this deck. And that's my plans. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Alright, put this over here. Okay. It's here. It's here. And blow out this. Okay, I entered it.